Who are Equipline and how long have they been trading for?
Right, well, my name's Jo Stacey and I'm currently on maternity leave, but when I was working full time, I was sales office manager for Equipline. And to explain the formation of Equipline, I'd need to perhaps go a little bit further back to 16 years ago, 1990. I was still a baby, obviously, then, when my mother orchestrated a management buyout of a service department from her previous company. Mortgaged our home to the hill, collected some like-minded entrepreneurs prepared to take a risk, and then persuaded some brave BES investors and formed a dedicated service company called Techline and Techline Limited. Both operate nationwide. An opportunity arose approximately 4 years later to represent some leading commercial catering equipment manufacturers, and my mother formed a second company and we arrive at Equipline, primarily as exclusive supplier of leading brand commercial catering equipment. She's chairman of both companies and remains very actively involved on a daily basis.
How has the equipment supplied by Equipline changed over the years?
Well, a lot of equipment hasn't changed much in function, thinking particularly of Ultrasham cook and hold ovens, for example, the smokers, the banquet carts, the Nico broilers, Samsung microwave, Friado rotisseries, equipment such as that. But there have been incredible changes in terms of the technology actually used. 20 years ago, a machine with electronic controls, for example, was way out there. Definitely leading edge. Now, unless you control your combi from your bed with 1 foot behind you, people just, they yawn, they get bored. Technology is really a way of life now. So yes, in that respect, there's been major changes.
How does Equipline choose new products?
Right. Excitement versus innovation versus application for customers is really what we have to consider. The more down-to-earth criteria depends on the manufacturer, the people, and the type and build of quality of equipment. When we're happy with all of those aspects, we then evaluate it technically to be sure there'll be no surprises for our service company to prevent them providing our high-level fixed first-time service. Equipline is often requested to add brands to its portfolio, but significant investment is necessary to adopt a new brand. Sales staff training, for example, technical staff training, stocking field engineers' vehicles with spare parts, and populating our live kitchen with equipment for tests and demonstrations and so on. So all that on board, this makes us very careful in our selection, and we're delighted to have recently added actually some very exciting new products that meet our strict criteria, all of which are driven by new technologies. That includes the Freema Vario Cooking Centre, which in our view will soon become as essential to kitchens as a combi, and the latest technology from Polyscience, the portable sous vide professional behind me, and the anti-griddle flash freeze plate equipment also behind me. These three items alone have the potential to revolutionise the way chefs actually cook in their kitchens, minimising energy consumption and introduce some theatre cooking to impress their customers. We like to stay ahead with all of our offerings, and in 2006 we launched our Friado hot multi-deck grab-and-go units. These units revolutionised the way operators are able to offer hot food to customers. The trend was set by our original and unique design of a 35cm wide version, specifically designed for pret-a-manger's hot wraps. So you probably would have seen one if you've gone into any pret-a-manger. So when the exclusivity period expired, the technology was adopted by Greggs and then Compass and then Aramark, and we now offer a shorter version designed specifically for schools, which is called the MD 3 shell or the MD low. 2 years ago, we made another exciting addition to our portfolio, the spectacular Beach stone hearth ovens, which I'd like to show you. These beach ovens have brought Equipline out of the kitchen to front of house and created a way for restaurateurs to differentiate their restaurants from the competition, delighting customers the world over by incredibly diverse finishes thought up by very imaginative restaurant designers. Our latest installation actually is a massive custom-built 1.5-ton beach fireplace rotisserie installed for Heston Blumenthal in his new restaurant at the Mandarin Oriental Hotel. This was a real challenge because it was a one-off piece, so we also had to organise testing to obtain CE approval on this particular piece of equipment.
When does equipment become mature?
Right. Really when they become the food service market equivalent of a household name. For example, our old sham banquet carts, all hot cupboards are actually commonly known as shams, even though they're not all auto-shams, of course. Even if they're not an auto-sham, the chef or the kitchen staff will call them shams. A bit like all vacuum cleaners, for example, are called hoovers. Auto-sham cook and hold ovens, which despite numerous attempts to oust us from the top spot, remains the brand of choice for most leading operators such as Mitchells & Butlers and Whitbread alike.
Does Equipline offer any other support services to its customers?
Oh goodness, yes we do. Our development manager has been sponsored through all levels of food hygiene qualifications, eventually becoming accredited to group training standard, plus health and safety training, which means we're actually able to offer highly qualified on-site staff training and the food premises audit service that we designed for smaller companies to establish the all-important HACCP documentation and procedures for them. One of our mottos is actually try before you buy, and we make it possible using our impressive 200 square metre live kitchen facility, which is constantly busy with customers coming in for anything from specific private equipment demonstrations or to test out new products such as different cuts of meat or a new pastry or bread supplier, even manufacturers introducing new products to their distributors. We also have technical training seminars or restaurant staff training seminars. We often have schools in where the children come in and learn how to use commercial equipment, which they otherwise wouldn't come in contact with until a much later stage in their training. We also have a full audio-visual system with a 54-inch overhead screen and cameras and microphones, and lay out all the equipment to suit their food offer. That's essential. We have open house days roughly once a month when we throw open our doors to anyone in the food service industry to come in for demonstrations and tasters. We work very hard, but it's worth it. So if you're viewing this on our website, click on Contacts or get online to www.equipline.co.uk and see all the products we have chatted about. Otherwise, take a minute to register for our next open house day and see them working at our live kitchen in Uxbridge. We look forward to seeing you there.
Thank you very much, Jo. For more information about Equipline, visit equipline.co.uk.